Run that back, turbo.
You can get the biggest Chanel back in the store if you want it. I gave them the drill, they sucked it up, I got them on it. I bought a new paddock, I had to watch.
Today we're going to be looking at the practice ACT test. We're going to be going through the math section step by step, and then this video will be the first 10 problems, and then I'll just do 10 in sets of 10. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. I will have the PDF of the test attached to this video so you guys can look exactly what I'm looking at. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. So the key to this problem says proportionality, so you can assume that you will have to know something about ratios. And it says there's 3 eggs, so 3 eggs equals to 6 servings. And then it asks, Marcus will increase the amount of eggs by 5, and it's going to ask how many servings. So equals x and 5 eggs. This is what Marcus will do. So modified. There we go. So what we're looking for in this problem is basically what I like to do is find the conversion factor. So how do we do that? So we can't do anything over here on this right side. So we must have to look at these two numbers right here, 3 and 5. So what I like to do is take the second number attached to the x, so that's 5, divided by that first number where you're given the whole proportion, and then you'll get a number. So let's go ahead and plug that into the calculator, and we get 1.666, so 1.66, and then we use this is our conversion factor. So then we use that number and we multiply it all the way back by the amount of servings we have. So that would be 1.66 multiplied by 6 servings equals, so let's go ahead and multiply that by 6, and the answer is 10. So we have 10 servings for 5 eggs, and the answer choice is C. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at number 2. So the first thing we should note down is total equals 35 members. And then they have to choose, so have to equals rep. They have to choose a rep. And it cannot be one of 3 what does it say, officers. So now it's just asking for the probability question mark of a member of the club but is not an officer. So there are 3 officer positions. So basically all we have to do is do total minus the number of people not an officer. So we're basically finding the probability for one person. So you know that it has to be 1 over x, 1 over something. So the total is, what is the total? 35 right here. And how many people cannot be representatives? 1 of 3. So what we have is 35 minus 3, which equals 32. Alright, but we're not done yet. We still have this fraction over here. So we do 1 over 32. And this is a probability of a person getting into the club. And that answer choice is K. Alright. Now we're going to look at number 3. So number 3 is actually pretty simple. So for what value of x is 2x, so 2x plus 7 equal to 2 to the 15th. So one of the rules that we need to know for this is same base equals same exponents. Basically not exactly the same exponents, but what we do is, since they have the same base, we just don't even look at the bases anymore, and we just drop down whatever we have. So it's just x plus 7 equals 15 now, since 2 and 2, they're the same number. So what we do is just subtract 7, and our answer is 4, which is answer choice B. Let's go ahead and move on to number 4. So this is the function that they're giving, equals 5x squared minus 7 parentheses 4x plus 3. What is the value of f of 3? Question mark. Alright, so basically what we have to do is, whenever you're given an f, parentheses a number, and then it's asking, or it has a question mark at the end, you have to plug in, because this is essentially just a value of x, and it's giving us that value of x at 3. So we just have to plug in, every time we see an x, we have to plug in a 3. Plus 3, that's 9. It's 45 minus 7, and then this is 12 plus 3, that's 15 over here. Minus 7 times 15, and that'll give us negative 60. That's our answer. That answer choice is J. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to number 5. We're halfway through almost. And we have, so the question is saying that 5 $5 bills, 7 $10 bills, 8 $20, and that's it. And one bill is drawn, and we have to find the probability that it is a $20 bill. $20. Okay, so there's 5 5s, and then there's 7. So these type of problems are there to trick you. So basically all we have to do is we have to do 5 plus 7 plus 8. Okay, which gives us 20. Alright, which gives us 20. And what is the probability of a 20, John? Well, we have 8 20s divided by the total. Total is 20, and then we have 8 20s. So let's go ahead and simplify this down to 4 over 10, which goes to 2 over 5. And that is our probability of a $20 bill drawn. And that answer choice is D. Okay, now that we're halfway through, let's go ahead and move on. Number 6. Number 6. Okay, so $40 monthly fee. So whenever you see that $40 monthly fee in a question, it does not have an X attached to it, because following that it says $2 per book. So we know 2x, where X equals per book. Okay, so 2x plus 40, and that's monthly. And that is the AB, what is that, ABC book company. That is the first company. Now the second company, which is called the Easy Book Club. So let's go ahead, Easy Book Club. And that equation that they give to us is a $3 per book, where X is per books, so 3X, and a $35 fee. So, and it asks, where are these two prices equal to each other? So equal, that is the key word in this question. Where are they equal? So all we have to do is just set these two equations equal to each other. And we only have one variable at x right here. So our first step is to go ahead and subtract our 35s. That gives us 2x plus 5 equals 3x, and minus the 2x on both sides. And let's go ahead, actually, let's change that color for contrast. Let's go ahead and simplify that. So we have 5 equals 1x. So x has to equal 5. And that is our answer. And the answer choice is H. Okay, so let's look at number 7. 7. So basically it has a parallelogram. Let's try to draw it. Okay, and then it has one diagonal line right down the middle. This is B, this is C, and this is D, and this is A. And it has a 40 right here. Actually, let's do that in a different color this time. It has a 40, and it has a 57 right here. And the question asks, what is the measure? What is the measure of angle CAD? So whenever they give you like 3 letters, it's always the one in the middle that you're looking at. So C to A to D. So we're looking at this right here. This is our X. Okay, so there's a couple rules that you need to know. So first of all, this is 57 over here. So the opposite angle has to be 57 right here. It's just one of the rules that you must know for this test. So we do 57 plus 40. Let's go ahead and write that out. So 57 plus 40 minus 180 to get this angle right here. Let me go ahead and point to it. This angle. Okay, that angle right there. And what we get is 83 for that angle. 83 degrees, okay? 83 degrees. Now, using the same principle as over here, we already know that these are opposite angles. So we can use that same principle, and we can just assume that angle CAD equals 83 degrees. And that is answer choice D on this test. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to number 8. Number 8. Alright, so when x equals 1/2, what is 8x minus 3 over x equal to, in question mark. So we just have to plug in x in this one. Pretty simple. So 8 and then 1/2. I recommend that you use parentheses everywhere so you don't make mistakes. And over 1/2. I know this looks scary with 2 division signs, but just don't worry about it right now. So 8 times 1/2, well, that's 4. Okay, so that turns into 4 minus 3 over 1/2. And 4 minus 3 is 1, so 1 over 1/2. So you have to do the reciprocal of the bottom. So how you do that? You basically multiply by the opposite, which is 2 over 1. So that cancels those out, and multiply up here by 2 over 1. And our answer is 2, which is answer choice G. Okay, so let's look at number 9. We're almost done. So number 9. And it basically gives us 2 points, 3, 8, and at 1, -4. And we have to figure out the midpoint between these two. Basically, you need to know midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 over 2, pretty simple, and y1 plus y2 over 2. It's a pretty simple formula to memorize. You're just adding and then dividing by 2. So let's get to it. So this is our, alright, so we'll make 3 our x1, so 3x1 plus 1x2, so that is plus 1 divided by 2, which equals to 2, comma our y, so our y1 is 8, so 8 plus our y2, -4, divided by 2, which gives us, so 8 plus -4 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. So our midpoint, using these two numbers that we just got, is 2, 2. And this is our answer, and it is answer choice D. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to number 10. This one is probably the most difficult out of the first 10 problems on this test. So you're basically given a graph. Basically looks like this. Starts off at 12 up here, and just goes like that. or in the actual picture, they all have the same max and mins and amplitudes, so it's pretty symmetrical. Basically, you're looking at the depth up here, and then the hours after 6 a.m. up here. I know this is a pretty rough sketch, but I assume that you guys are looking at it as well, so on the actual PDF. So what we can basically do is, it's asking for, let's go ahead and put that in a different color, for the greatest water depth minus the least, greatest minus least. And remember, this is the key, after 6 a.m. So basically, you can look at the chart and then go ahead and subtract the greatest. It's pretty obvious once you look at the graph where the greatest is and then where the least is. So it's basically a 12 minus 6, 12 up here, 12 up here, and 6 right here. 12 minus 6, which equals to 6. And this is our answer choice. Which answer choice? G. Answer choice G. Alright, so these are the first 10 problems of the practice ACT test explained. I'm going to do 10 more and then 10 more until we finish this test. Alright, thank you.